Welcome to Vampire Survivors. You are going to die. Vampire Survivors is a bullet hell survival game. And by bullet hell, I mean you are the bullet hell. You can pick from a bunch of characters who all have their own starting weapons and stats. Whip, knife, testicles. And from that, you fight to survive through hordes of enemies. This game cost me £2.08, which is about $3. In fact, it's less than $3. I have 50 hours on this game. So I want to start us out on the original stage, the forest. Essentially, at the beginning, you're going to just be wanting to fight away the bats, fight away the starting enemies. And from that point on, these blue orbs are the lifeblood of your entire run. From here, we can get a bunch of upgrades. New weapons or upgrades to our already existing items. I turned off a bunch of the power-ups for this, so I'm going to be super weak. So I might die. You know, I'm realizing now just how painful having no power-ups on this game could actually be. Let's get the cross. I want to go for a full, like, actual projectile build. Usually I just do, like, an AoE build that, like, allows me to, like, batter away lots of enemies and stand completely still. But maybe I should try playing this game instead of sitting with it in the background while I watch YouTube videos. Hopefully this serves as, like, a bit of an introduction to the game. Like, I've spent a lot of hours playing this game, as I've already said. 50 plus hours. I mean, I don't even know what the, like, cost to time invested really is here, but it is incredibly low. As the time progresses, more and more, like, stronger, powerful enemies come in, and this is not a game where you actually survive for an infinite amount of time. 30 minutes is the time that you have. If you can survive to 30 minutes, then there's a surprise at the end waiting for you. And by Jove, you're not going to be surviving much longer than that. Although some people can and some people do. This is like the most perfect game if you have exactly like 30 minutes to kill. Or if you are like bad and only last 15 minutes like I was at the beginning. And you can do 2 runs. We got an elite enemy here who's a little bit stronger. He's a bit of a strong bat. Our health is like pretty much okay. I'm hoping that I shouldn't need to look for any more pickups. But if we do want to get a pickup, we can get them from these here. So you can pick up the chicken. And that heals us for a little bit of HP. There are also HP upgrades that you can pick up. That being said, I would say that like the HP and upgrades that you can get are pretty alright. For instance, the Hollow Heart. This will come into play a little bit later on. As a base stat, I don't think it's necessarily the most exciting statistic that you can get in the game. Like, you're playing this game, you want to be getting stuff that either amps your damage. I mean, as a new player, I should say, you want to get stuff that's just going to amp your damage. You want to get stuff that's just going to, like, make you as powerful as possible. But the Hollow Heart has a really important, like, role to play in this a little bit down the line. Let's pick up the axe. So we've got base damage up by 10, high damage, high area scaling, or revive once with 50% HP. Now, I have never ever bought the revive ability. That being said, as I said earlier, I wiped all of my power-ups just to see if I would die, and based on my HP, that could happen. Now, what do we want to go here? I think, you know what, let's pick up another weapon. Let's pick up the fire wand, which is going to blast fireballs at all the bats that are circling around us. You just want to keep moving. I understand the game probably doesn't look like much of a bullet hell right now. In fact, the bullet hell aspect of the game might in fact look like the enemies are the bullets. But trust me, when we get a little bit more powerful, when we get a little bit more things in our arsenal, we should not have any problems whatsoever. Now, with all this money that I'm picking up, not the gems, the coins at the top right of our screen, you can pump those into power-ups that are going to make you a little bit stronger. A little bit by bit. And then over time, the beginning of the game gets a whole lot easier until you're like me and you have 50 hours on the game and you have unlocked every single power-up and you just log in every single day just to walk in circles, essentially. Because it's so much dopamine. It's so much dopamine. Okay, now we've got fast ghosts to deal with. The ghosts are a little bit faster than everything else, but they're also much tankier than bats. So if you don't have upgraded weapons at your disposal, you might run into a little bit of trouble with these. Also, this didn't used to be in the original part of the game, but now the developers have added obstacles that you absolutely will get stuck on. It's supposed to add challenge. I know I can't exactly say I'm a huge fan of it. That being said, the developers of this game are incredibly, and I mean incredibly active. Every week there's a new update with new weapons, new characters, And something that we'll explain a little bit further when we're into our run, that's a really cool mechanic that you should absolutely learn by playing, because I learned by playing, and it's honestly like it's a super fun experience to do. Evolved weapons. Okay, pick these up. Just in case you ever try to outrun one of the elites, by the way, if you try to run from them, so this mantis is over here, they will teleport to the other side of the screen. Be careful, you cannot run from them. They are always hunting you. 6 minutes down. With every extra minute that passes, something new is going to get added to the mix here. I've just realized that I may have put hyper mode on. In fact, I definitely have, because my character is moving a little bit faster. This is actually a little bit different than how you normally start the game. You will normally start a little bit slower than I am right now. That being said, the enemies, I believe, are also a bit slower. But I think they have more HP on this. So generally, I would say, if I think I have put on hyper mode. This is, especially with no power-ups, a little bit tougher than I would like to admit. In fact, we can't, oh, okay, you know what? They're a little bit tanky, I don't like it. I was hoping to get away with that one. I did not get away with that one. Okay, so we want to pick up the candelabra. That's going to increase the area of effect of a lot of our abilities. So our axes will get slightly bigger, our cross will get slightly bigger. Even our whip arc, I think, gets slightly bigger, and it increases over time as we get upgrades for it. Every single weapon does have a maximum level of upgrade. Every single weapon, for the most part, only upgrades to level 8, and then your passive abilities tend to be anywhere from level 2 to like level 5. So it's something to keep in mind. In fact, that might be perfect. Let's pick up a power up here that's going to freeze time for us, and then I'd like to swoop in here and pick up a treasure chest, which is going to give us an upgrade. You know what? I skipped it. I shouldn't have skipped it. I'm so used to playing this game. I should have skipped it. Every single treasure chest in the game is dopamine filled to give you power-ups. Spinach is what we want to pick up. It's going to increase our damage by 10%, which will be really useful right now because things are starting to come in that are definitely a little bit tankier than I think we can handle. We just have to keep moving though, bobbing and weaving in between all the openings that we have from the enemies here. I think the magical wand is a decent enough item when you're starting out. That being said, I kind of move away from it as I've gotten, you know, better at the game. I know that sounds really strange to say a game, you know, you're getting better at this kind of game, just running in circles. I think there's like a lot of strategy to the game beyond just the like picking up things and running in circles. If it's a mindless game that you want, it's a mindless game you shall have. But as far as like strategy, as far as upgrading items and which items to pick up and what you kind of need in that moment, I think I play this game too much. Alright, okay, that is not good. We have trapped ourselves inside here. I mean, honestly, we could just walk out. We can honestly just walk out, and it might actually delay the mantis and everything that's in there. We're 10 minutes deep into the game. What is our level on our items? You know what? I think these are free to pick up now. A fire wand upgrade. It's not necessarily what we're after, but nevertheless, we can go on with a little bit extra damage. Another fire wand upgrade. Okay, maybe upgrading the fire wand. It's now at level 5. It's now our most upgraded item thanks to those 2 chests. Maybe that's something that we should keep in mind. Oh no, it's a skeleton wave. It's a skeleton wave. I do not have the damage to deal with a skeleton wave. I think I am pretty doomed here. I'm gonna be honest, I have so many errors in this game, and I usually love the skeleton wave, but right now, I hate the I'm gonna die. Okay. Okay, we've put our power-ups on. You can refund your power-ups at any time if you want to distribute your money wherever you see fit. Increase might, armor, max health, recovery, duration of your abilities, speed, area of effect, cooldown, the amount of projectiles you fire, your movement speed, the distance that you can pick up items, your luck, getting an extra revive for free, your curse, which basically increases the amount of enemies that spawn on screen, the amount of coins you gain, the XP you gain, whether or not you're allowed to re-roll if you don't like what you've gotten in your picks, and also a skip, which lets you just completely ignore all the choices if you don't have any skips left. Let's try that again. We can run the same exact map here, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be a lot stronger, a lot faster, a lot healthier, and our XP is not going to be nearly as bad. Let's take knives. I want this to be a projectile run, so let's make it a projectile run. You know what? Let's take magic wand. I liked all of those items. Those other 2 a little bit later down the line. That would be perfect for this. You can see already, this is a little bit easier. It's okay though. Honestly, Dying is fine. It's like Dark Souls. You learn a little bit every single time you die. And in this game's case, it's mostly that you should pick up some power-ups with the money that you've gained. The weapons in this game are pretty varied. Everything from like AoE that goes around you, to shields that like stop you taking damage, to a gun that basically shoots time dilating bullets at people and freezes them for a distinct amount of time. A fire wand upgrade. That's okay. We can take that. At this point in the game, I'll just take any upgrades that I can handle. Here, we take the cross. Hollow Heart is tempting, but I think we may see it later down the line, so it's okay for us to give up on it for the time being. Right now, I think weapons are the most important thing that we want to be getting. Just getting enough firepower, and as it stands, 10% HP is not going to be too bad, considering we are already in a position where we have a decent amount of HP. I'll pick up the spinach here because it works really well with the fire wand. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. We're getting a huge stack of XP here. We're not taking too much damage as well, which is absolutely perfect. Let's, you know what? Let's upgrade the whip even further. We can actually, like, kind of tank these bats. Not infinitely, but we can tank them enough wherein it's actually kind of worth it for us to be on the stack, just soaking as much damage and soaking up as much XP as we possibly can. The level ups are coming in super fast. We have not even picked up the actual power up in game where you get better XP. So we're making good time. We're making good time. Our movement has to be a little bit horizontal though, I will say. The knife fires in whatever direction you happen to be facing, and you can turn it like mid attack. The whip hits horizontally around you, and the fire staff, the magic wand, and the cross, they just kind of do what they want. You can't reason with them. They do not listen to reason. I think we pick up the whip upgrade. I think we're doing pretty well as far as damage is concerned, and just increasing the damage we're already dealing by upgrading the base damage on the whip is totally fine by me. The levels are coming in super fast. We're already level 15. And we can pick up the axe here as well, which is going to be a little bit of vertical damage for us. The axes always come up at the top of your head, and quite frankly, if you want to survive in this game, moving up and down is definitely helpful. Moving left and right, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Now, let's pick up the treasure chest. Another whip upgrade. Exactly what we're after. The area of effect has also increased, so it's just going to hit more enemies and just do bigger damage. Another whip upgrade as well, because there were so many gems on that one single stack. I'm not trying to brag, but we're about to level up to level 17 already. There we go. The candelabrador. Oh, I get the joke. We want to pick up that item and increase our area of effect. There's a lot of chicken that we just picked up. The fact that we're leveling up so quickly is also in part to the curse mechanic that is being recently introduced to the game. It came out in the, not this patch that just happened, I think today, but also the patch before. It's an item that, or a power up, and there's an item in the game as well that lets you manually increase the amount of curse that you have, and with the more curse that you have, so our curse is currently at 50%, more enemies spawn earlier in the game. Tougher enemies spawn earlier in the game, and every enemy is also slightly faster, I believe, does more damage, and also has a bigger HP pool. So, it's a little bit harder, but that also makes up for the fact that I'm, you know, playing with power-ups on to begin with. I've got all my upgrades, so this does kind of even the playing field just a little bit. I haven't found the item that has increased your curse in this run yet, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to get it. There's just no room in the build for it currently. Picking a build that you want to do and attempting to pull it off is like, it's a lot of the fun of this game, and it is fun. You could play this game for hours and hours and hours, and every single run's going to be just a little bit different. Even though the waves are all scripted to be exactly the same monsters at the exact same times, it can feel like every run is super different just based on the way that your abilities synergize with each other. A knife upgrade. It passes through an enemy, which means it's going to hit twice as many people. We passed the 5-minute mark. Things are a lot tougher than you would hope at 5 minutes. But that being said, we've got basically every weapon that I want to get so far. Now we just have to work on picking up some power-ups. Okay, let's pick up another level in our knife. We're firing at a lot of knives right now, which is really good. And since they always fire in the direction that we're walking, it means that we can clear a path in front of ourselves if we need to escape or get out of any kind of bad situations. For the most part right now, apart from a couple of enemies, if they get hit with all of our knives in a row, they are probably going to die. Okay, let's pick up spinach. Let's increase our damage by 10%. I'm taking a little bit of damage here, trying to zigzag in and out, but this clock could do a lot for us. We can get a lot of free XP just by walking into all the frozen enemies who are not going to be doing any damage to us. Also means we can pick up some of the gems that we missed because we're trying to zigzag in and out. Okay, let's pick up the magic wand upgrade. Magic wand just attacks the nearest enemy to you. So it can be a little bit awkward if you're wanting it to specifically target something, like the whip. You can just walk horizontally to the thing you want to hit, or the knife where you just have to face the enemy that you want to hit. It's nice for just picking up a couple of extra enemies here and there. Alright, we're almost at max level for the knife. We're at level 7, which means one more level, and it will be fully upgraded. And then from there, well, we're just going to have to evolve it. That being said, though, we're going to need a specific item if we want to upgrade that knife. Now, these bats may just look like bats, but they're in fact not bats. They're actually bulletproof tanks with wings. These things can and will ruin a run if you give them a chance. Now, I'm tempted to actually use a couple of my rerolls here. Let's see what we get in our chest first. A cross upgrade. Okay, base damage up. That's totally fine. I'm tempted to use one of my rerolls soon. I'm looking for a very specific item that's going to come into play. Actually, in the next, like, I don't know, maybe, depends how long it takes. Maybe 30 seconds. Okay, you know what? Let's use some of our rerolls here. That is exactly what we want. Perfect. That is, like, the most perfect thing ever. We're still at level 7 on our knife though, so we could really use an upgrade soon. That being said, if we can bring down this super duper elite, that would be perfect. Okay, he's now down. We're gonna have to wait a little bit before we can open up that chest though. Spooky. Now this could be perfect for getting us the XP that we require here. We're gonna have to just be a little bit careful though. Okay. No upgrade to the, oh wait, to be fair, we have got the whip at max level. That actually opens things up a lot here. There we go, the knife is fully upgraded. Let's open up our treasure chest. Now, this is a mechanic called evolving. If you have a certain combination of 2 different items in your inventory, and one of them is a weapon, and it is at max level, you can get evolved weapons. So instead of having the whip, we now have the bloody whip. Or sorry, bloody tear. Or bloody tear? I'm not really sure. This weapon is basically just your normal whip, except it can heal you when it does crit damage to enemies, which is perfect if you're tearing through mobs of enemies like I am. We also upgraded our knife, except that chest doesn't have an upgraded weapon in it, which is fine. Now, I believe you can only actually get upgraded weapons after the 10-minute mark, and it usually chests like this only drop from elite enemies, the ones that you're gonna see at like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, etc. So having like a weapon fully upgraded, if you focus on one weapon, when you get to that point in the game, you are ready to upgrade a weapon into something a little bit stronger. I'm not gonna tell you what all the combinations are. If you can guess what weapon made that whip a bit stronger, then good for you. But I think like half the fun of this game was just like figuring out yourself what items have to be turned into what to get that upgraded item, to get that evolved item, because it's super fun. It's a game. Alright? Now, shut up. This little item on the ground here, the orb, it's called the attractor orb, and it will suck up all the XP in a mile radius, and we are gonna get 1 billion level ups here. Let's upgrade our magic wand. Let's upgrade our axe. Let's upgrade our magic wand. Let's upgrade our magic wand. Let's upgrade our axe. Okay, that was not bad for picking up 1 item. That means that we don't have to run around in circles picking up every single orb that we see. But that being said, we've already left a bunch of orbs on the ground that we're gonna have to pick up anyway. A bunch of like XP gems. The werewolves are super tough and they are super scary. Thankfully, with the whip, we can tank a couple of hits here and there, and it shouldn't be the end of us. The game is only going to get harder from here, and trust me, if you think that this is as hard as it gets, we are not even halfway through one run of this game yet. Okay, let's pick up an axe upgrade. We're level 40 already. That's incredible. Now, we can use this to clear a path, and let's pick up a chest. Is this going to have an upgrade item in it, though? I think it probably is. It is! we got the Holy Wand, which is basically your average Holy Wand, except it fires with absolutely zero cooldown. It's not the greatest evolved item in the game, but I did want to go for like a very projectile-based build, because I think that that makes it a little bit more bullet helly to really show off how bullet helly this game can get. Okay, here we go. We got 2 levels up there. Let's get an upgrade to the axe. Another upgrade as well. Let's go for another upgrade for the axe. We're almost at max level for the axe as well. This is such a really great game for accessibility as well. Despite the fact that it's actually like kind of hard, there are no buttons really involved. Apart from pressing A or pressing like enter or clicking on the screen to pick which upgrade that you actually want. The only thing you need is either WASD, or if you have a gamepad, just a joystick. And there's no shooting involved. I'm not actually shooting anything. I'm not firing projectiles. I am just walking and my character is doing it for me. But despite that, it's a really tough game. So whether or not you have like issues with using regular controllers, or you have an issue using a mouse and keyboard, this game could be a really great challenge for you, even if you're not necessarily able to like fully use the function of a keyboard or mouse. Okay, we got a bunch of chests in there, and not the best amount of ways of getting it. Let's increase the area of effect, and you know what? Let's get an upgrade to the fire wand as well while we're at it. I want to pick up this chest. You might not have been able to see it because it was in the middle of a bunch of enemies. We got a big chest. Show me what we got. Show me what we got. 5 upgrade chests. There we go. We've got the scythe. The death spiral is the upgrade to the axe that will now pierce enemies. Observe. Ka-chow. Sends out a bunch of scythes in a circle that knock back enemies and do a bunch of damage. It's probably one of the best upgraded weapons in the game, I would say. Okay, let's upgrade the cross. We're very close to getting that to max level as well. I think I might be dumb here, actually. Oh, we do have a level 8 weapon. It's the knife. So we get the 1000 Edge now, which is an evolved knife, which also, similar to the Holy Wand, fires with no delay. So now we have a billion knives flying out the front of us, which means that we can just pick a path, and we just fire these knives straight down it. And there are very few enemies that are ever going to survive long enough. So if we want to just walk down, we just walk down. Now we're really strong. Now we're in a really good position. We're 60 minutes in, and we've already got a couple of evolved items, which is absolutely like stonks for this part of the game. The Hellfire. Evolved Fire Wand passes through enemies. So now we're going to be shooting out gigantic fireballs. It may not be the best like weapon in the game, in my opinion, but it certainly does a lot of damage, and it was my first ever evolved weapon in the game. You can do a lot with this thing. This thing absolutely can carry you to 30 minutes if you get lucky. Now, let's upgrade the cross. We'll get it to its max level. Now we have a fully upgraded amount of weapons. Oh wait, no, it's level 7. Oh no, sorry. Give me cross. You know what? Reroll. Give me cross. Now we got it. Okay, now we can start working on our passive items, our passive weapons, and all that jazz. So let's get the candelabrador up to its max level. We have a little bit of respite at this point in the game, so we need to use this opportunity to just pick up all the XP that we can. The mummies are super slow. They are really tanky, but they're not so plentiful, so you can absolutely run around and grab some XP while you're waiting for the hell to begin, waiting for everything bad to happen. We're almost 2/3 of the way there. We're doing well. We're doing good. We're really starting to exemplify bullet hell. Although it's not exactly a Toho game, we can cause some damage here. Oh, we got our upgraded cross. I forgot that wasn't fully upgraded yet. So you might be wondering what the upgraded cross does. It's that gigantic sword that is flying across the map right now. It pierces through every enemy, does a bunch of damage. It's a pretty solid weapon, actually. And if we get the bracer as well, it will go even faster, since the bracer increases all of the projectile speed by 10%. We just hit the 20-minute mark, and things are starting to get a little bit busier. But it's nothing that we can't handle just now. Wow, we are sucking up so much XP right now. We're fully upgraded on every single item, so now we have a choice between health, which we can instantly gain back, or a big coin bag. We're going to take the money every time. Even though I already have every single power-up unlocked, you never know when they're going to unlock more, so we got to get that money. We're about to hit 21 minutes, and it's still kind of hectic. The waves of bats and stuff that come in can really push a lot of these tankier enemies into you, but it's nothing too crazy. In fact, at this point in the game, around 21 minutes on this particular map, things kind of start to slow down a little bit. Do not fall for their tricks. Alright, let's pick up another treasure chest. Now, at this point in the game, there's no upgrades to actually get from, unfortunately, but you get a big bag of money. We're 23 minutes deep in the run. The amount of enemies that are coming at us hasn't necessarily increased, but they are much tankier, that's for sure. Thankfully, we're doing so much damage that it almost doesn't really matter. As long as we don't walk straight into one of these enemies and stand there for a long time, we probably should be okay. Even the elite bat that just walked up to us there died almost the second that we actually decided to fire at them. 124 gold, thank you very much. Okay, we're 25 minutes in. Now things are going to start getting a little bit hectic. We have one of the final bosses for the game who is going to die almost immediately. That being said though, we don't let that trick us. Usually in this game, the bosses aren't the thing that you should be scared of. It's the 999,000 other things that are coming at you at the exact same time as it. As long as we just make sure that we're not too overwhelmed at every angle, we should be okay. 26 minutes. It's getting a little bit harder to stop them all coming in from every single angle, although it's gonna get harder. Okay. 27 minutes. It's now time to put into practice everything we've learned so far. We are leveling up like crazy. Things are only going to get infinitely harder from here on out. 28 minutes. You know what? This is the point where I think we do start moving. We've got every single enemy coming at us is going to be an elite, which is much tougher to kill. Even tougher to kill than the elites previously. I can train fire on this thing up here for ages, for so long, and it took forever to die. So we're gonna have to be careful with this one. We keep moving. We've only got a minute and 30 seconds left before we're finished with this run, and that's gonna be the longest 1 minute and 30 seconds of my life. We have got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Now even stronger elite bats are here. They're even tougher to get rid of. We just have to rely on the knockback from our knives, the knockback from our scythe to keep us alive right now. Just slowly making our way up this horrendous onslaught of enemies. Now, you gotta be careful. Don't walk into things like that, into that hedge. You will get stuck. And at this point in the game, getting stuck in that area is gonna be very difficult for you to get out. A chest. We risk it for the chest. Even if we die, we'll die a rich person. 182 gold? Probably not worth it. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. We just have to keep ourselves alive here. There's not much left of this. We got 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then that's us. We did it. Kaboom. And then you get slaughtered by death. But we get a nice bonus for being able to survive for the end. We can use one of our revives. It's not going to do much. We unfortunately... I mean, I think you can kill death. And you unlock a character for it. But it's super hard. And also, I'm bad at the game. So. And that's the first run of Vampire Survivors. You can get all your stats here. We killed 34,000... monsters, and that is not even a crazy amount of monsters, I think, to be killing in this game. This is a bit of a weird one because it was almost like a tutorial of how the game operates, but people see me play this game on stream quite a lot and they ask a lot of questions about it, so I thought I'd do a video to actually fully explain to people what is happening and to maybe decide to pick up this game. It is $3. It is $3. And it is probably the best $3 I've spent in a very long time. I've got many hours of enjoyment. Even if I'm not just like, if I'm just watching YouTube videos or chilling, it is a really mindless game to pass the time until you have to do something else. 30 minutes is a hard cap, so it is a perfect segment of time that you can do. Check it out. It's on Steam.